Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to a match reaction show. Preseason friendly. It's finished. Barcelona 2, Juventus 2. What an entertaining game that was. I really enjoyed it. And I mean, tell you what, I think both those teams didn't know that it was a preseason friendly. I think because the way they played was feisty. It was entertaining. It was at times mesmerizing. But so much that we learned from that game. And I mean, that's what preseason is about. It's about not about results. It's about performances because results can often be skewed. They can often be misleading. So you try to look for performances and you like look for things. And there was a lot to gain from that match for both teams. I think Barcelona started well. They started with again with their high press and with really high intensity. And I think this is something that we will see throughout the season. Hopefully from Barcelona, they will really press high and press high with the pitch. And they dominated the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. They were really good. They were really sharp. They were forcing Juventus into errors. There's a lot of what Juventus were trying to do, and again, the same thing that Madrid were forced to do, because they were trying to go for the out ball, which was a long ball over the top, and every time they tried to do that, Kean couldn't hold it up. So Christensen and Garcia could just step up and grab it, or Busquets could drop in and grab it. So that's what they were doing. I know the commentator kept saying he's losing the ball, losing the ball. They were not losing the ball. The problem was that they just they had no other way except to play the long ball over the top and try to bypass the midfield. Eventually, Juventus got control of the midfield, and I thought, considering the circumstances, Barcelona completely dominated the Real Madrid midfield, but today they didn't dominate it. Well, I mean, they dominated, but they didn't overrun it. I mean, I think Barcelona won that midfield battle, but they didn't overrun Juventus, which is a credit to Zakaria, and Locatelli and Rovella. I think they did the job that they needed to do. Where they at times they were pretty good actually, and they did the job of containing Barca's midfield as much as they could. And at times they were playing. So from the 20th to about the 35th, 36th minute, I thought they were the better team. Juventus looked like the better team. They finally got control of the midfield. They were playing through. Di Maria started cutting in from that, from his right hand position. He started coming in and created a midfield overload. So at times it was that they were playing with 4 midfielders as opposed to 3. And what that did was that was pushing Barcelona back, pushing them back, and it was allowing Juventus to win the ball higher up the pitch, or at least cut out balls from midfield. So it was a good tactical battle there. And then, of course, 39 minute Dembele, the Barcelona had the expectant Dembele, and he just goes on a run. Dest passed it to him, just goes on a run. That was shoddy defending. Throughout that whole phase of play, was shoddy defending from Cuadrado, from Sandro. I thought Cuadrado was good in attack, was absolutely horrendous in defense. And this one he just goes through. Szczesny should have done better. He should have saved that goal. To be honest, he just lets it go in between him. It was a poor goalkeeping mistake as well. But quite frankly, Dembele should never have been allowed to get to that position in the first place. But it was a nice finish from Dembele. And then he gets and I do think that this is a big season for Dembele, because if Xavi can manage him and keep him fit, he has something that very few other players in that team have. He's 2-footed, and he's got the ability to he's got that will pace, he's got that ability to cross a ball, to assist, to score. He can do everything. And therefore, if he can keep him fit, the key issue for Dembele is fitness. If Xavi can keep him fit, then I think he'll be a big player for Barcelona this season, as evidenced by the fact of his second goal, which I thought was even better, because his second goal actually was, again, was poor defending, but it was actually, very just bamboozled Cuadrado, and then he took a very nice shot, which I thought the first goal was a bit of an error from the goalkeeper. The second goal, there was nothing you could run about it. He just mesmerized the defenders, and he shoots in as a wonderful finish. In between that, of course, there was a goal for Juventus as well. Great play from Cuadrado. As I said, he was good in attack. He was pretty bad in defense. So it was a great play from Cuadrado with nice little cross. Moise Kean finishes. Kean's had an interesting career, hasn't he? Someone who's so young. He's still quite young. He's already played for Everton. He's played for PSG. He's had 2 spells with Juventus. Seemed to be at one point on the verge of a breakout and being Italy's next big star. Hasn't quite worked out for him. We'll see how it goes this season. But 2 well taken goals. I thought the second goal was also very well done. It was a bit of fortune, because the pass that comes in, Jong cuts it out, but it still somehow finds its way to Locatelli, who Zakaria, then Locatelli kind of plays it in, and then Kean finishes. So it was 2 good poachers finishes, but you take that from any striker. And I thought he did well in that position, especially since which was not playing. So I mean, the one thing that I will say about Barcelona is, but as good as they looked in attack, and this is the issue, their defense is not good enough to successfully challenge on multiple fronts. I think that's what it is. I think if they can get Kunde, that might be the missing piece. And you can see why they want Kunde. I keep saying this. You can see why they want Kunde, because they need to reinforce their defense. I don't think Christensen, Garcia, and De Jong are good enough options in that defense. I'll come to De Jong in a bit, but I don't think those are good options. I think PK is a little bit past it. I think Araujo is good, but the question is, where do you play him? Do you play him as a right back or do you play him as a centre back? He's got to play as a centre back for me. I think if Kunde comes in, that's Araujo and Kunde has to be the number one centre back pairing. If Kunde is not arriving, then I think they'll have to make a decision as to who partners him. But they still need somebody. I don't think Christensen, Garcia, PK and De Jong is really the kind of defense that you want, like the kind of centre backs that you can really reinforce that a little bit. So that's the Achilles heel. It might still be enough for them to win the league, by the way. But in the Champions League, that's where there might be an issue. So defense is still an issue. But something that was second half once the change this game, there's a lot of things to note. But I also liked the fact we noticed there was such a youthful midfield for Barcelona. You had Pedri, you had Gavi, you had Cuadrado, you had Torre, Nico Gonzalez, who started the game. So many under 20 players, and most of them are not even 20 yet. It's just unbelievable the kind of depth they have and the kind of youth that they have. And this is where I believe Barcelona, they can just build on youth. They don't really need to splash a lot of money. They're doing it now, and I can see why they're doing it. But the reality is they don't really need to do that much. And so they could very well have they could have a world-class midfield again in a year or 2 times, year's time or 2 years' time. We could have a really good midfield. They already, Gavi looks a sensation already. Pedri is already probably a world-class midfielder already. And Gonzalez looks good as well. So they've got already some elements. Others can also grow into that role and look good. So you could very well have that. I thought Lewandowski was a bit off the pace. I think he could have done better. He had a couple of chances in the first half. He could have done better with that. He kind of just drifted away from the game. I think they kind of just passed him by. And so it's going to take him a little bit of time to get back into things. I hope he can find his form and he can support this team, because if he's on fire, they might not need a world-class defense. I think they can get by without that if Lewandowski is firing. There's a lot of chances missed as well. I think Barcelona should have easily scored 6 or 7 in this game. I think Depay had that very good chance towards the end. There were 2 shots that went off the post from Fati and from Raphinha. And then, of course, in the first half as well, Lewandowski missed a couple of chances. And Dembele, I think, played it to Kessie. Kessie missed a good chance as well. So they had opportunities. And again, they'll have to, the fact that they're creating a lot of chances is good. The fact that they're not finishing all of them might come back to haunt them. And so that's something they'll want to work on finishing wise, of course. Juventus, for me, I thought the midfield was good. I really thought the midfield looked good, and that's something to build on for them. I liked Rovella played the full 90 minutes. So that's good. I mean, that shows how much the manager backs him. I thought Pellegrini looked okay when he came on. Maybe he wasn't at the races, hadn't acquired the pace of the game yet. The standout for me was Bremer. Bremer just looked incredible the way he played. I think he's a fantastic signing for Juventus. I don't think they're going to miss Delict much with the way he played. If he can give this again, it's only preseason, it's still new, but I thought he looked fantastic today. Just his anticipation was on point. The fact that he even switched with Bonucci, I think, was a clear indication that they really felt that he was the one. And Lewandowski was trying to target Bonucci, so they tried to switch so that that could be more support on that side. But I just thought he looked good throughout the game. I thought he was immaculate. His reading of the game was good. He made some interception. I don't think he made too many tackles, but he made a lot of interceptions, which is what you want in your defender. So I was impressed with him, and someone I think definitely watch out for. Di Maria looked great as well. The only issue with Di Maria again is that end product sometimes is lacking. I thought he played his part today, but I think it's at times you just felt like he was like the old Di Maria, where he was trying to be too ambitious and trying to be too forceful in things that he did, but at times he was mesmerizing. And I think he was the second best player on the pitch after Bremer. I thought Bremer was great and he was good. Locatelli looked okay as well. It's hard to make, because I mean the midfield did this job, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. But there's still things that need to be ironed out. I've seen that Milan and Inter, the way that they are, I think Juventus look better at the moment. Those two, it's hard to read too good, but I think they do look better. So you might think that they would be favorites for the league title, which is again early days and still a long way to go before we get into the season, but something there to consider as well. But let me know in the comments, what did you think of the game? Did you enjoy, what did you make of it? What the performances that stood out for you? What are the things that you might want to talk about? Let me know in the comments. Always happy to hear, of course, and share thoughts and opinions. Definitely want to hear from you. Do remember to smash a like for this game if you watched it, if you enjoyed it. Fantastic game, by the way. Didn't look like a preseason, it looked like a Champions League game. At times, this is really high quality. And of course, remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. We always appreciate your support, and you also get notified for all the videos that we do. We're doing quite a few bit of content now, so if you subscribe, you get notified. And we're getting close to 800 subscribers on Facebook, so please help us cross that milestone, as well as 170 subscribers on YouTube. We want to cross that, so please help us. We'd appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.